Hello everybody, this is Thannus here, and today we are back in The Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening. Of course, the first thing we're going to do is fall into a pit. Isn't that great? Now then, let's go ahead and go inside Ridger's house, where we may speak to him once again, now that we have all of his leaves. Ah, très bien. If that's, I don't know, I'm sorry, if you're French and I butchered that pronunciation, I'm sorry. I see if you recovered all the leaves. Now, move this statue, and you will find your reward. How about you move it? Whatever. I removed it, and now we have a nice basement. In this area, you can actually find one leaf. So let's go ahead and pick that up while we're down here. Let's jump across this gap. Of course, as you can see, our sensor went off. Opening this chest sees that we find our next secret seashell. Go ahead and take that. Jump across here. And now we just head back down here. Or back up, I suppose I should say. Now, I don't believe any of these areas are... Yeah, there are no shells in this room, however, there are some enemies you can get rid of, so to speak. Go ahead and kill that guy. And now head on out of here. Now down here, don't do what I just did. Be careful where you walk. There are holes everywhere. Now these patches of grass rather than bushes are areas that you will know are safe. It is impossible to fall down holes in those areas, so keep that in mind. However, not all the bushes are safe, so keep that in mind as well. Now, if we continue cutting our way through here, we will eventually find our way to the center of the maze. Well, no. We find our way to the exit and the key for the dungeon. If we don't keep falling. So, we cut our way around here. Try your best not to fall in the holes, of course. There is also a piece of heart we can get in this area. Naturally, why wouldn't you be able to find something like that here? I believe continuing our walk all the way up here. So now, we're going to actually head right to the middle here. And given the proper timing and remembering to actually jump, we should be able to pick it up and land on the ledge. Look at that. Another piece of heart has been obtained. And that means we've actually gotten another full heart as well. Jump back across here. Make sure you keep running so you don't fall off. And now we find ourselves at the exit. Here we will find ourselves an owl. We can also pick up this rock, thus no longer blocking our way out. Let's speak to the owl and soil secrets beneath your souls. Scoop up this patch of grass and you find yourself the next key. Bada bing, a bada boom. Now jump across here, and we're going to go ahead and do one more loop around. Actually, no, it's not necessary. We can go ahead and go on up here, open up this gate right here. We will be able to enter the new dungeon. See, now it's open. And now we have to loop around. So I will see you guys once we reach the entrance of that cove. Alright, here's the entrance to this area. Now you're going to notice a lot of floating areas here. That one right across the way is not something we can reach yet. I believe there's a piece of heart somewhere up there, but I'm not sure. I may be wrong. Anyway, continuing on this way, we can actually jump our way across to the dungeon. And before we go in there, if we go on up here, deal with these octoroks, you can see there's a shell nearby, according to our shell finder. If we dig up this hole right here, we find ourselves yet another secret seashell. If we open up our list, you find that we have 20 seashells now. Alrighty then. Now, it is time to go into the new dungeon. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the key cavern. Keep that in mind. because there are a lot of keys in this cavern. Now go ahead and go on this way. You will not actually be able to grab that yet, so keep that in mind. But do know that that room is there for future reference. Alright, we're going to need one of these pots to break open this door. So real quick, go ahead and do that. Head on up. Now this dungeon can be somewhat frustrating. Personally, I've lost all recollection of how to even do it, so this might be a while. Honestly. Anyway, destroying all of the enemies in here will give us a chest. And opening that chest, we will find ourselves with a key. You're going to be finding a lot of those in this dungeon, if the name serves a purpose. Destroy all of these, whatever you want to call them. Now, that side room right there, we cannot get through yet, so keep that in mind. Open up this chest here, and you will actually find it's a trap. We can't do anything with it yet. Now, in here, this is yet another room we cannot use yet. If we push that block, it's counterintuitive. It just impedes our progress further. So go ahead and keep heading on up. Delete these guys now. Or not delete, but destroy these guys now. And, oh yeah, I forgot. Killing both of the Stalfos will not do anything yet. There is actually a slime on the other side that prevents us from getting the chest or item of this area. Anyway, heading across here, we are now able to access this area. Don't bother pushing the block, it's not going to benefit us. There's no switch yet. Now heading down here, there are 4 doors. Do not go in this one. Reason being, it will be very difficult to make your way through that room. Same goes with this one. That's a mistake I regret making. So what I recommend you do... bombs. Just bombs. Throw it, and it'll explode on top of the enemy. He'll fall, and you will find yourself the key, or the key of this area. Go ahead and pick it up, and you'll be able to open other rooms now. So go ahead and head on up out of here, and you will find 2 other doors. Again, I stress, do not open the door on your left. You'll be able to solve it, but it's also extremely egregious and difficult. I would highly recommend waiting. Now, we don't have the beak for this area, so don't worry too much about that owl. Here we find ourselves with yet another key. However, there is also another thing we'll be able to access just shortly. So real quick, pick up the key, and actually hit the switch real quick. Before we unlock another door, we're going to go ahead and head on up out of here. And now you'll find that you can open this chest. Go ahead and open it, and you'll find yourself the owl beak. Very nice. Or the stone beak, actually. Now go on south, back where we were before. And if you head to the left, or right, sorry, you will actually be able to access that area now. So go ahead and go that way. Kill both of the keys in here. And then we're going to go ahead and fight this Stalfos with a sword is what I'm going to call it. I don't know what the actual enemy name is, but I'm not going to bother. That works. Open the chest. And now we have ourselves the dungeon map. You can actually push this block out of the way to get down. Of course, if you want, you can just do that too. That doesn't matter. Now go ahead and head back on up. Again, this room doesn't matter just yet. We can't do anything with it. So now, again, do not go to the left. You do not have the item necessary to complete that room efficiently. There is a way to complete it, like it said, but it takes a large amount of practice and time, I suppose. Now this enemy here is a very frustrating one, so to speak. It would be best, honestly, to just avoid him for now. There's no item really in this room. So what you can do for now is actually just get rid of all of the choo-choos in this room, is what I'm going to call them. Because that's what I most closely associate with slimes in Zelda, honestly. And another key will drop right here. Like I said, there's a lot of keys in this dungeon. Get used to it. As you can see, there are some blocks locked with keys as well. Alright. Now get rid of both of these guys here. Grab this. And now we're gonna head on this way. Get rid of all these guys. They are a nuisance. You don't want to deal with them. And head to the left. Now, these guys, don't bother dealing with them just yet. They're going to be a nuisance, and you don't want to deal with them right now. If we head up, we have two, I honestly forget what these things are called. Just wait for them to turn in the proper directions, and once you get both of them, I believe you will receive an item of some form. They just have to start opening their mouths again. There we go. So we have one of them almost down. Make that two almost down. Now they're in the way of each other. We can't really accomplish anything like this. That guy will swallow that bomb. We have one down. Uh-oh. There we go. Both of them down, which means we will now receive a portal out of here, as well as an open door. If you go up here, you'll just find an extra exit that leads to the last area. If you head this way, you'll actually find an area that I guess is somewhat complicated to get through. You can't push any of these blocks out of the way, actually. Oh, you can push this one, actually. So now you're going to want to grab this here, and hold on, it looks like we're trapped. How are we going to get out of here? Well, this new item here is the answer to our problems, friends. So, not only will this item allow us to actually quickly eliminate those bird enemies we saw earlier, we're also now going to be able to use this block here. You might have seen these things in other rooms earlier. And running through them with the Pegasus boots will allow us to basically break them with extreme force. So now that we have that all done, we can actually access that room on the left if we wanted to. However, I am actually going to go this way first and eliminate these guys. If you run at them, they will not have time to teleport away, and you can go ahead and kill them. Let's go ahead and pick up this key now, and let's go up in this room up above. This is another room with a lot of enemies. Deal with the Stalfos and deal with the slimes, and you will receive another key, chest, but it's on the catwalk above, which currently we cannot reach. So if we head up to the next room, we find ourselves in a room with several bomb enemies, and now we're stuck, as well as another sword Stalfos. I think these are supposed to replicate bomb-bombs from Mario. Now we also have access to the catwalk. We're not going to bother with the owls. We don't really need to deal with them right now. Getting a stone beak is enough for 100%, because the owls don't keep the beak. Now go ahead and open this chest. You'll go ahead and get 50 rupees, which is very nice, as the description says. Head across this way. You'll actually be able to open this wall here, so go ahead and do that just real quick. Okay, it wasn't too far. Now that guy right there is not going to be a problem right now. As you can see, we can't actually get in here right now. So, go ahead and go back out of this area. Now going back to that room isn't necessary because it's just going to get you trapped again, so to speak. So actually, we're going to want to go over here, move down, push this block out of the way, get rid of those guys, grab that, and now we're actually going to head over here, unlock this block. But why aren't you unlocking the room downstairs? Because I don't want to, okay? Alright, now we have two of those blocks out of the way, and we're going to actually look for our next key. It should be up in this direction. Now, this totally inconspicuous arrow here, it's totally inconspicuous. Nothing here suggests that we need to, I don't know, maybe bomb this wall. Maybe it's not giving away anything. We also can bomb that wall right there. If we do so, we will receive access to a room that we previously could not access. And I just fell down a pit. Let's go ahead and lift both of these bottles and go ahead and fill up our hearts. Enter this room here, and now we have access to the main room again, which is very nice. Basically a bunch of shortcuts. If we run across here and jump, you'll see that with the Pegasus boots you can jump farther. Of course, I misjudged the distance that I was, so you gotta jump more towards the edge, I guess. So here is yet another case. Now you can it would be easier to jump across the gaps that are too wide now. Now if we go ahead and head down this way, we can get rid of all these enemies. This is an issue. These guys follow you, actually. They don't actively, like, just bounce around the room, but if we get rid of all of them, the door will open. There's not really a way to defend against them. Anyway, keep going this way. These guys are going to be a nuisance to an extent. Just eliminate all of them, get rid of the slime. You'll be able to open the chest, and I believe this is another key. No, it's a compass. Alright. So now continuing on this way, go ahead and just deal with these guys. There's another hidden item in this area, as you can see. If we get rid of all these pots, we can actually grab a fairy. This bomb guy will also explode at some point. Go ahead and knock this guy as well. He will explode, and down will drop yet another key. Very nice. Now, we're not going to open up one of those blocks again. We're going to need more keys. So what you want to do is go ahead and head on out of this area. Just ignore these guys. They're not worth dealing with right now. Go ahead and head on down this way. And now that we're in here, we're actually going to go ahead and head back out where we were the first time around. Now, all of these areas, there are no more chests for it to get here. However, there's one chest we can get here, and there's another chest we can get here. Both of which we did not have access to prior. Now, this owl thing in here, like the other ones, it can be killed. We're not going to bother with it right now. And actually, we are going to go ahead and get this thing off of me. We're going to open up this door right here with our key. And now there's these things that can be killed. It's... Okay, don't bother doing it the way I just did. Yeah, not like that. You have to jump across. And now what you want to... Now what you can do is you can just, if you aim properly, you can run down, hit it like that. Now, you want to, basically, you want to have enough space to run at it. So if you teleport them both to the same side, quickly go across and grab this key before it falls off the ledge. Now you can go ahead and go on out of here. Before we go back up to that last area, we're going to go ahead and go into this room, which we will actually be able to use to our advantage now. So we're going to actually hit that, actually, no, we don't need to. It's not going to give us any access for or against it, so it doesn't matter. Pushing that block doesn't do anything either, I don't believe. Well, actually, maybe it does help us. Let's go ahead and find that key room. Ah, yeah, here it is. Hit the stone, go out, and go back up. The block is not pushed. It did not matter. Anyway, get rid of both these guys. Because once you do, now it actually matters, because we'll be able to get to that slime right there. So loop around if you can, as fast as you can. We don't want the skeletons to, we don't want the Stalfos to respawn. So once you deal with them, and deal with these guys, now you're going to want to face up, and start running as fast as possible. You'll have those two things popped. And you can also hit the slime, and now the next chest will drop in that room right there. Very nice, if I do say so myself. However, before we pick that up, we are going to go back to the bottom floor again, or bottom room again. Stop doing that. And remember this side room at the beginning of the dungeon? We're going to go in here, and now we can actually hit the... It's kind of difficult to avoid falling off the edge, so make sure you don't do that. And once you get close enough to it, it will dissipate. You can go ahead and grab yourself another key. Now we have all of the keys necessary to get through the rest of the dungeon. So, as you can see on the map, all of the chests here are done for. If we go one down, there are no more chests left other than the one we have left to open. So let's go ahead and go back and open this chest and go back downstairs. Alright, opening this chest, we will find ourselves a gold rupee, which is 300 rupees, which we will promptly put inside of our wallet. Very nice. It does help us for getting an item that we will need eventually. Now, if we head back in this direction, get rid of that keys, run over here, eliminate the owl, get a blue rupee if it drops it, I guess. We are actually relatively low on hearts, but we do have the magic cream, so it's not a big deal right now. If possible, go ahead and see if you can't get any hearts from killing these slimes in here. There's a chance they don't drop anything, like they just didn't for me. Not a big deal. Go ahead and walk on out here. Go back to the other locks. Unlock this one here, and then unlock this one right here. And now go down. We are now in the basement. This guy here, he's not moving. We can't really get across as is. So we want to hit him like that, and he will no longer be an issue. Now, you're going to want to sprint while running across so you can jump those gaps. Go ahead and just get rid of that piranha plant right there. We're not going to deal with him. Just as... okay, don't do that. Don't do what I just did. So these guys here, they can be killed pretty simply. And this room is just a bunch of poppable balloons and birds. Once they are all dead, you can just go ahead and pop the rest of the balloons, get what you want. Grab the hearts if you're low on hearts. I don't believe we've encountered the mini-boss yet, so keep that in mind. We are going to have to face that eventually. If you kill all of the keys in here, I believe there's something that will be dropped. We are also almost to the boss room. We now have a power acorn. And here we have ourselves yet another key. But, newsflash, we don't need any more keys. So basically, this dungeon will forever have a key that we don't need. See, we have every room unlocked. Basically, it's just a useless extra key. So, in fact, if you're down here, there's probably not a reason you should even need that key anymore. Now, this boss is actually pretty simple. If you run into the wall here, down it drops. It's a giant slime. Now, you will need your item for this, the Pegasus boots. So destroying both of these slimes, continuously hit one of its eyes. It'll eventually split so thin that you can run into it and split it in half. Once that happens, you can attack each of them individually. Be sure to jump so you don't get stunned when it falls. You will need to destroy both of them in order to beat the boss completely. I have one down. We will need to destroy this other one now. Alright. And I believe one more hit ought to do it. There it goes. Boom! And we also have ourselves yet another heart container. We now have 9 hearts total. And yet another dungeon complete.